Big thanks. Well, let's quickly go to the nitty-gritty of today from the Benin Network Center, where we will be looking at 1 year in office of the Governor of Edo State, Senator Governor Okpebholo. It all started prior to the election. Of course, the campaigns that came up, within the polity, and of course, all that transpired and litigations that went on. But it came in a very beautiful slide when the governor-elect was inaugurated as governor November 12th and made some very, very frantic promises on making sure that he keeps to the development of Edo State and, of course, finding a way to, bring lasting solutions to the problems bedeviling the state. What has been the nature of the state after 365 days is what we're going to look at. We dissect and we analyze this. All right? I have in the studio with me, I choose always to start from my extreme left, where I have a political analyst and one-time special advisor to the governor of Edo State on political affairs, if I'm not mistaken. And he is everything that has to do with, analyzing issues. And he's going to be here all through in looking into this issue concerning a 1 year in office of the governor of Edo State. Shedrack Udubai, thanks for coming.
It's a pleasure being here, and good morning and good part too. And I'm always happy being with you.
Shedrack, what fights today?
Yeah, I took some time to announce your name.
Yes.
But basically, don't forget I'm the referee.
No, of course.
If you say anything,
no, if you ask also bear with me, I have international right best standards. I'm well coordinated.
All right. And next to Shedrack Udubai is a one-time SSA to the governor of Edo State on youth and community development, Comrade Collins Osagai Amadin. Big thanks for coming.
Philip, good morning viewers out there.
All right, so I know you're ready for a healthy start.
Of course. We have empirical evidence.
And basically, we're not fighting out.
Of course.
And just close to me, at least I have him there so that he can help take off the bullets that could be coming from that
He will also throw bullets.
Well, he may be throwing bullets today. And he is a legal practitioner, a fine one at that, erudite, and also a public affairs analyst that always speaks his mind. And he is Emmanuel Okpebholo. Big thanks for coming.
Good morning, Philip. Good morning, Nigerians.
All right, we have it, but let's quickly start with you, Collins Osagai Amadin. This happens to be a whole lot because if we take our minds back to the elections, and of course all that transpired in the elections, and of course the eventual swearing in, and the promises made by the governor, it's already 365 days old. Show your report card.
Yes.
So what can you say that is very, very, intriguing, fascinating about the report card of the governor?
Yes, first we want to thank God that we had an election that was fruitful, peaceful, and indeed, none of Edo citizens lost their lives. Though it was an election between the bourgeois and the ordinary citizens. But we thank God that the ordinary citizens, speaking through their votes, had their way by electing His Excellency Senator Governor Okpebholo, whom today majority of Edo people are excited about his administration. Yes, 1 year of prosperity, 1 year of productivity, 1 year of empirical evidence, 1 year of high mark, not just mere say, 1 year of industrial development, 1 year of building roads, initiating peace, 1 year of expansion at all levels. Now, let me start first. 1 year of stabilization. AAU, for example, before he came in, was one of the major problems we were having in the education sector in Edo, as it were. Either the students are protesting today, the management board is being dissolved today, some individuals have been brought in to sack both lecturers and staffs. They were completely disarray in that sector, in that AAU as an institution. The governor came, increased the subvention, never failed to do what he needed to do, reviewed infrastructure, reviewed employment in AAU, and indeed gave the management the full opportunity to indeed determine the best way the growth of AAU can come. And today we have seen all that happening. Now you go back to basic and major roads across the state, which before now, the high cry was that federal government have abandoned Edo. Even in first term of other governors, for example, they were not able to dare it. In 1 year, you know that's very capital intensive to dare such projects owned by federal government. Now you can see in Benin Saple Road, in Agbo Road, even in the Abuja-Lagos Highway, you can see where state government had gotten himself involved in doing a massive project, capital project, where you see concrete road being done on a highway. That is how far a government can go in wanting to deliver dividends of democracy.
Okay, it's a state project?
Of course, the state is a federal government owned road, but state have taken some percentage of those roads in order for our citizens not to continue to lament, in order to quick, because you know, bureaucracy has been what has hindered governance, whether at state or local or federal. But it become more hectic in federal system of government, where they will need the president, at times they will need the senate, the legislature over there to do, before it gets to Edo, it become problem. Now let us do this project, and the federal government approves. Do some parts in which you can do some kilometers, you can cover, and after which we reimburse. But you know why those problems have persisted over time? Because nobody want to sow and be waiting for reimbursement, because the reimbursement may not even come while you are in government. So this is to show a governor that is not selfish, or a government that is focused, that is not saying because it will not be immediate. That was why you saw most times in previous administrations, what you see often is eye service. Let me just quickly do what is plenty over. But this one is let the people benefit in total. Right. Now when you move out from the section of the federal roads, you will now go to something like state road, for example. Okay. Now the old Saple Road, for example, that cut across over 30 communities. As I talk to you, they have just passed to Obi, they've gone through Ogege, and so many of those roads. I mean, I'm not talking about the main Saple Road that is being handled. The old Saple Road too is also being treated.
Thank you.
Handled just the way this one is.
Thank you.
We have a lot to talk about. Anyway.
Yes,
probably
yes.
When you come
we have a lot, so you don't need to finish everything.
Thank you.
The
Thank
stretch.
You. Thank you.
Well, he said a lot, but let's take our minds back to the previous administration, you know, where there have been issues begging about how to tackle these major roads, most especially the Saple Road axis, you know, the Benin Agbo Road, and nothing was precisely done in that direction. Don't you see this development now coming as what should be celebrated by the governor?
We've gone through this route many times, so I would not want to waste my time, because he said so many things and we crystallize what I said. There's really nothing substantial in it. He could not mention anything tangible to say this is what governor did here, did here, did here. He was just using English to describe concepts and ideas, which usually amounts to nothing. I will tell you what we are celebrating. What we are celebrating today, or possibly tomorrow in Edo State, is 365 wasted days. 365 days of Monday Okpebholo actively engaged in the destruction of the foundation he left. He came. But the Okpebholo has not focused on providing governance for Edo State. He has been focused on destroying what Obaseki had done. And I'll quickly run through it so that you will see we're all together. The first thing he did was to bring down the e-governance. Before Monday Okpebholo became governor for Edo State has elevated to be the first subnational in Nigeria to have enthroned electronic governance. A system whereby paper and files were being jettisoned. Governance was now being done on a digital electronic platform to ensure accountability and full-scale transparency, whereby every civil servant in Edo State was given a laptop and a tab, whereby they could respond to mails and attend to government files and minutes on it for speedy and effective governance. That was a system that Liberia sent people to come and study in Nigeria to see what exactly is Edo State doing, how they are able to remit governance that is being practiced in Europe and America. Monday Okpebholo came on board and gathered that e-governance and threw it in the waste bin. As if that was not enough, when the Okpebholo moved in, there was the Edo Health Insurance Scheme. Before, when Obaseki was governor, Obaseki had put in place an elaborate health insurance scheme that was targeted at giving health, accessible and quality health to the poorest of the poor in Edo State. Pensioners were all enrolled. We could see people go to the hospital, and after they be treated, the bills amounted to about 75,000. Because they are under the health insurance scheme, you were made to pay a meager sum of 7,500, which is just barely 10%. That was to say that Edo State was interested in ensuring, because we know that health is wealth, that the people in the state are able to access cheap and affordable healthcare should the case they fall in. But Okpebholo came on board, he gathered those things and shoved them down the toilet. Nobody today, that thing is a sham, it's totally non-existent. As if that was not enough, Okpebholo went straight for the digital tax remuneration that Obaski had instituted to ensure that in our internally generated revenues, money is able to find access to the government coffers. It was a crime in Edo State for any tax officer to collect tax by hand. To say, hey, what's your tax? You can't pay by cash, you can't pay by hand. All of those were properly digitalized. Even down to the bus junction, they were collecting tax using the government through POS and digital platforms, so that government money will find its way to government coffers and be used for ensuring governance for a vast majority of the Benin people. What did Okpebholo do? When he came aboard, he saw that with this kind of digital system, he can't steal, he can't loot. He quickly broke down the system and brought in the Atalakpa recovery corporate that was owned and controlled by Tony Kabaka. You see, revenue before Obaski left was about 7 billion per month. It didn't take up to 3 months for revenue to plummet down to 3.4 billion. And when they got to the all-time low of about 2.something billion, but the people had to angrily sack them out of office because it discovered that money that was supposed to be meant for the state was not being used by Agberos and Tog to build hotel, to buy car, Range Rover, and to improve the loss of their lives. When you go to regular period, you see different Agberos wearing different uniform. It was as though they were doing inter-sports. People were collecting revenue were more than the people that revenue was being collected from. All shades of uniform, you see red, you see blue, you see green, different kind of cap, Ritia, and all of them were out there. All they doing collecting revenue from one government. When Okpebholo suffered that dangerous loss, he knew they could not continue. He chased them away. What did the institute? Shady and Line go back to say, Obaski, let's bring their digital method of remuneration. They are caught in the web. Is it that digital? Is it that manual? And they are running it in a confused manner. As it was not enough, Okpebholo moved again. He entered the Edo GIS. We had in Edo State a very well-structured information survey whereby you could get your CFO very easily with less than 220,000 people were getting CFOs in Edo State. The issue of land administration and ownership was being resolved. You could get the people of somebody and go to GIS and check who owns the land. But today, Okpebholo has not signed up to 30 CFOs to become governor. The ones he signed, the signature are neither here nor there. People have complained, hey, which one is Okpebholo? Is Okpebholo that signed this one or is Okpebholo's PA that signed this one? There is no correlation between what Okpebholo can do. When we complain, what did he do? He ran and said that there's one boy that bought 17,000 hectares of land. He's a small boy. We don't know where he got the money from. Please, nobody should do CFO again, no, until we investigate how one small Yahoo boy went to bust that land. Look at the level of cluelessness and ineptitude. Edo State government hurting geoinformation services because what? One boy went to buy land that he cannot account for. That's the level. As it was not enough, Okpebholo went into the Solomon Arase Command and Control Center. A elaborate security infrastructure that was instituted by Obaski for what we call collaborative security and prompt response. Where the emergency lines in the state 112 and 739, where you could call, there was police there was army, there was navy, there was civil defense. If you had any issue in the state, you could call and you get immediate response. There was also firefighting services there. There were cameras positioned at different places in the state where they were monitoring the security of the camera Kobai, camera and Ring Road. We were monitoring. There was a central command and control system. Okpebholo got it because he just heard that it's Governor Okpebholo that did it. That's the only crime. Once he just heard that it's Governor Okpebholo that did it, see, this one cannot survive. He crashed the thing. Security plummeted drastically. People were struggling. Like, we'll go into security. Obaski attacked that one. Okay. As if that was not enough. There are many destruction he did. He moved again, bro. He now entered education.
I'm happy you have given us a
Obaski went for the Edo Best with a jugular because he knew that was one of the prime projects that Governor Obaski instituted. The Edo Basic Education Center that was so good that Sanwo-Olu of Lagos State, you should know states that can be compared to Edo State, came to Edo State to study what Obaski has done, the level of standardization, the evaluation and monitoring mechanism that was built into the system to ensure standardized teaching, punctuality and productivity in learning. Obaski took education beyond mortar and brick and red roof. They understand that after you have a class and you have a roof, what is most critical is the inculcation of knowledge. Right. Thereby people, what did Okpebholo do? He packed all those things. Threw away today, they are not digital, it's not manual. Today they are sending lesson notes. Let me quickly round up on this one. They are sending lesson notes on WhatsApp. Teachers that don't have WhatsApp, we cannot buy that paper and go to the headmaster office and go and copy what to teach the children that day after they send it to WhatsApp. They come to class and teach. These things I'm not saying they are verified. Go to primary, call teachers. Okay, calm down. Calm down. What did they bring?
Calm down now. Talking all the time. No, there are a lot to talk about. You have set a stage for us to pedestal. Only you cannot take all the time.
They have to use timing for us.
Next to nothing.
Only you can't take all the time. They have so much to dwell on.
He ran to Abuja, kiti. Went to go and carry mobilizer for.
Thank you.
When I get my time, don't stop me.
Tinubu 2027 to
Thank you, Shadrach. Thank you, Shadrach.
Today he has got the location. He's jumping from market to market.
Thank you, Shadrach.
Is it the Subebu man doesn't have qualification?
That's
the
enough.
government talks will be irritated.
You know,
and the people who are put together to administer education.
Shadrach, I need to call you many times before you come down.
No, the thing is annoying.
No, easy, please. You know what? Calm down.
He's in a fashion party.
I don't have a glass cup here, but I could make it possible for you to calm down with water.
We are good.
Yeah. Now, I don't want you to lose your voice. So, in the process of, ventilating, cool down, please.
Cool down.
Let's get your thoughts, because this is what we've always been looking into, There's this whole talk about what Governor Okpebholo has been able to achieve in Edo State in 1 year. What are your thoughts?
Is there anything he has achieved? To my mind, I think the governor is a supersonic being in diving into frivolities and pettiness. To my mind.
It's not just enough to say this. You are going to bring out some pragmatic.
Sure. Yes. When I say pettiness, you see that just like my co-panelists have elucidated, you discover that the governor does not have the capacity of governance.
Oh.
He doesn't. And if you look at his demeanor, you would agree with me that the governor has the 3 musketeers that dictates what should be done on the day-to-day run of governance in Edo State. The governor will tell you, oh, the president is my father. And as such, whatever the president says is an 11th commandment, and I must abide to it. A governor who can come not knowing the tenets of governance and start telling you, dive into pettiness, telling you that any commissioner that does not put the president cap should not come for a meeting. As serious as that. Listen.
You still have the floor. But if you say, I have to cut in here when you made mention of pettiness, because I don't know how you can address that. Let's take our minds back. Even in the previous government of Governor Okpebholo when he was governor. We've had issues of insecurity when it's getting to the end of the year. And he came on board, and that gave some peace. So are you saying that he didn't do something in that direction? Mostly as tackling insecurity?
What are you talking about insecurity? Did you not hear what happened at Ogege? Are you not aware of what is going on in Edo State? When you talk that the governor is fighting insecurity, yes, you may just come from the angle of cultism. That the governor has been able to checkmate cultism.
Do you agree with that?
No, I do not agree with it. Because.
But do you agree that we've had some relative peace as compared to the
previous administration? Peace where?
Let him just say.
Who are those in charge of Edo State today?
And let me
Who
give
are
you
those in government houses? The government house today in Edo State. Who are those occupying the government house? Who are they? So when you talk that the governor will be able to ensure that there is security in Edo State, where? From which angle? Are you not hearing of kidnapping here and there? There are even the press. There's a conspiracy of the press. Where in the press deliberately and consciously refuse to report some of the happenings in Edo State. Is that not correct? So when you see that the governor should, as a matter of fact, understand the tenets of governance, understand the purpose for which he has come. Do you know, I have not seen anywhere where the governor has addressed the people of Edo State purposefully. I have not seen where the governor will be able to tell the people of Edo State, this is my mission, this is my vision, and this is how I want to achieve it. He has not been able to tell us that. It is when the governor go to a function, maybe party function, you hear the governor will be telling you, I want to give the people of the president 2.5 million votes. Is that what he is there for as a governor of the state? The answer is a no. So what we think that the governor should do, the governor should be able to sit down for this 1 year now. He should sit down and begin to have a draft of what he thinks he want to do and want to achieve in Edo State. Because just now, if you ask the governor to present a dossier of all that he has been able to achieve in Edo State, I bet you the governor will not be able to present a dossier.
Okay, I will tell you something.
That is the reason why, though he came up and gave us a catalog of what he thinks that the governor has done. That is just utopian. What he needs to do is that the governor should sit right and begin to draft, tell the people of Edo State, address the people of Edo State that this is what I want. I think I want to achieve in this first term, and this is what I am going to achieve, so that at the close of the day we're able to hold to him if he did not fulfill all of those things. But
okay, are you saying you have not been able to cite any remarkable project?
I have not been able to.
Let's look at the direction of infrastructural development.
What infrastructure?
Have you been able to cite any project?
I have not cited anything. Maybe you will help me to cite them. Because if you look at, is it the flyover at Ramat Park that you want to talk about?
Oh.
Is that the project that the governor has he finished? You won't finish it.
Oh.
What if the governor tomorrow tell us that he has deviated his attention? Oh, the 3 musketeers that are dictating for him what to do in Edo State, and say they ask him now to go to Igo Bazua to go and do one thing again. Well, will you be surprised? I will not be surprised.
Who are the 3 musketeers?
You know them. Your party people are the musketeers. You know them. Your party leadership are the musketeers. For a state party chairman will come and tell you that yes, we know that we are foolish people. Whatever the governor tells us, we will do. Even if the governor sends you on an aberration, you will go. Okay. So you see this situation that Edo people have really come to face for this next 4 years. But I bet you he may not escape the next one.
Well, I think this is just what exactly some persons are also saying, most especially when it comes to the projects embarked upon by the governor.
Yeah.
You've been able to IMAC. So tell us.
And there are more IMACs.
Yeah.
Now he said...
You made mention of the one at Saple Road.
In short, let me even leave those segments. Now, my brother, barrister, thank God is a barrister of the law.
And don't forget what he said. You know, I want you to respond to what he said.
I will try and marry them.
Concerning the e-governance that they, according to him, that the governor has trashed.
Oh, let me even start from there. God bless you. Now, the e-system Governor Obaseki, former Governor Obaseki, seems to have initiated was nothing but the height of scamism on Edo people. Now, if you go through major centers in Benin, you will see him place a signpost, free browsing without a code, and ask Edo people how many, even within government house, no one could browse for free. And now, was browsing for free the major problem Edo people needed when they were dying on the grounds of insecurity? There were no road, there was no education. How many schools did Obaseki build before he left? I am sure any school or project that happened in Obaseki government would have been the discretion of maybe Barrister Sadio Ogi to just do for himself, because that one had a root from developmental background, you know, which was the progressive background. He will maybe use his own money to even do it, and assume, and some people will say Obaseki did it. I am sure maybe even the civil service secretariat that were being renovated, Barrister Oge would have done that personally, and which they are ascribing to him. Governor Godwin Obaseki did not have an idea of what it is to develop the people. Now let me start.
What grounds do you have against e-governance?
E-governance is good when there is institution being built.
Didn't you see that?
What they did, there was no institution to leverage upon. What they did was to get some few consultants from Lagos who were not called civil servants to sustain. Do you know what it is to sustain an institution? Let me tell you something.
When you say there was no institution to leverage upon, or are you trying to say that the governor needed time to understand it?
No, because there was nobody to even hand over to the governor. He ran away with his piece of paper, the laptop that he brought from Lagos. Godwin Obaseki ran away with the same laptop.
So by this, are you saying that why the governor trashed it is because he never understood what e-governance is?
When something is built, is built or something, you don't need to come and be taught. Because there are people who will continually manage it. Nothing was there. It was just a way of siphoning the state funds. And let me tell you.
No.
God, you're breaking me.
Can you tell me, give me some pointers to show that the governor understands e-governance?
Now, e-governance is not by carrying laptop. Now, are you telling me today, with the 21st century that we are in, that the running of administration is run on piece of paper because Shedrack said so? Certainly no. And you can't believe that. There is no way, there is no e-system. There are e-system. But the kind of e-system Obaseki initiated was the e-system of Afri-Invest.
So what you're saying is that the governor is also engaging e-governance?
Of course, there must be e-governance in today running of governance anywhere. Even in private business, there are e-system. Why should e-system be jettisoned? E-system can be jettisoned. Now, let me also tell you, what has the governor done is the core point. I don't want to completely deviate from it. Now, the governor does not have direction like Barrister said.
but yet he knew that some people needed employment, and he came and employed 5,000 into civil service system as teachers. He came and employed over 22,000 into the health workforce. He came and over 60 healthcare centers, primary healthcare centers, are being built, renovated across. He came and suburb was reawakened, and you could see schools that were being built and touched by this government. He came because he has no direction. He knew that Edo needed a modern city style and decided to design a flyover first to decongest the possible holdup and the congestion within a certain environment, which is the mobile houses. Then went further and said Sapele Road needed some level of leverages. If you go there and go and see the way construction companies are working as if it is Julius Berger working in Edo, because they have been mobilized to work. And just to say but a few. Now, courtism. You and I know that even when your son is already in SS1, we had this fear of, some of us had to push and so let my child live, especially a male child that is growing, because we were scared of the way they were being coerced into courtism. This man came not just by power nor by mind, but because the grace was divine from heaven. He was able to succumb that tension and pressure that was on for little children to become what they don't intend to become. And you agree with me today, courtism cannot be celebrated in Edo the way it used to be celebrated. Now he talked about security, that Obaseki built one room and gave it a name to manage security. Tell me, the vigilante that was there before, that our brothers and sisters that were put together to help in local security system, what did they do? What did they ever pay them salary one day? For 8 years of Obaseki, they were never paid. When Comrade Adams was a governor, he initiated similar, which they thought they wanted to improve upon by calling it neighborhood watch. And almost every home in Edo, 3 persons were receiving nothing less than 75,000 naira. Whether you move or you don't move, or at the end you get. Then we went further then and created what we call rapid response. That rapid response was to engage the educated ones among these youths, who after some time they will be subbed into the civil service system. This was initiation, this was idea. And even the water storm project that was initiated, that would have managed the flood. You know, at the time they left, they ran away, immediately they succumbed Edo into flood. Then the water storm project that was abandoned, this governor had said it will be revisited, and it has revisited. Now let me tell you,
all right,
now by dry season you will see more of what the governor intend to do. Let us call the spade a spade and appreciate a man with idea. This is a governor that believes in traditional institutions and local activities, local contractors too.
All right. Unlike
before, where any penny that had to come. And my brother also said that which people are in government house, which people are supposed to be in government house. Did you ever hear that imported persons are in government house like we saw before? These are still all Edo lines that are in government house.
All right, thank you so much, Collins Osaga. We're all about 1 year in office of Senator Governor Okpebholo as governor of Edo State. We take a short break, after which we continue with Shedrack on his thoughts about that this day.
TMI, every opinion counts.
Good to have you join us again. There's still this one on ITV, and I still have the discussants with me, and of course Shedrack Udugbai, former SSA to the governor of Edo State on political affairs, and of course special advisor, former special advisor to the governor of Edo State on youth, and also former SSA to the governor on community and youth development, and of course the legal practitioner Emmanuel Okpebholo. But let's go to you, Shedrack. You know, I asked you the question about, you know, what this present administration of Senator Governor Okpebholo is doing as compared to the time where Obaseki, then as governor, was not really seen doing. And I made mention of the infrastructure development, like the Sapele Road axis, and of course the Benin Road. You know, it has always been this talk in the previous administration that there is a demarcation between what belongs to the state, state projects to be done by the governor, and also what belongs to the federal government. And we seem not to be having this in this present administration. Don't you see that as another development, most especially when even under the previous governor, you know, he was also, you know, spotted on social media where his vehicle was submerged in the flood at Sapele Road?
Yes. Let me quickly, you know, today we want to come to discuss what Okpebholo has done. I'll get your question. All the roads he has tied, the alleged school he has renovated, hospitals. But you see, there's nothing they have to say. Nothing was being said. He could not list anything. Could not point at anything. There's only flyover on Supply Road. There's nothing to show that shows purposeful direction or meaningful contribution to good governance. Mondo Okpebholo has wasted Edo State. Aside the wasting, I had listed clearly all the things he saw that he has destroyed. We're not talking about what he has done, no. The one he saw that he has destroyed. But let's go to what the question you're asking. You're asking me about Obaseki not wanting to engage in federal roads. See, if you understand the principle of democracy, what we run today in Nigeria, there's what we call the doctrine of separation of power. There's a doctrine of separation of power. In that doctrine of separation of power, everybody has what is given to them to do. There's roles and responsibilities. There's duties. You can't assume into office and not know what you ought to do and be doing what another man ought to do. And you say it's good governance. Let me explain to you.
Point of observation. Separation of power. You're talking about the organs of government.
Okay, when you talk about
you don't talk about separations of power when it comes to executing projects for the people. After all, the people need this project.
Federal responsibility.
And so you tell me that as a governor, you tell me you have to demarcate what is your responsibility as a governor for your people.
Have you heard of what called the exclusive list?
Isn't that a fact?
Have you heard of what called the exclusive list and the concurrent list? Are you in Nigeria? Are you aware that these are constitutional matters?
Put it to you.
Now we run a constitutional democracy.
We remember those times in the times of Comrade Adams Aliyu, where he embarked on federal
because he got a green light from the president.
In the long run, Obaseki's government was reimbursed. So what stopped Obaseki's government?
Because Tinubu told him clearly that anybody who is going to do federal, there's no reimbursement.
Tinubu came where was about
Buhari said it clearly. Buhari said the road is your you.
Yes.
It was clear. Then it will amount to senselessness for a state government that has challenges with road, fixing his own road, to abandon it in comatose.
Okay, but can't state run palliative?
Of course, they did palliatives. Of course, Obaseki did palliatives. But the palliatives certainly won't last because those roads are always on high trailers. They are trolling roads, passing there from going from the north to the southeast, from the north to the southeast, you must come through Edo. All of the south states, they all go through Edo to access the north, the east, and the west. What are we talking about? Obaseki did what he could, but his pressure was high. Mondo Okpebholo has done 305 days. Are the road good? Go to his village, go to Ekpoma. Can you access there one? Is the supply road good? After 365 days, when he came and said there's now a elaborate corruption. And make this mistake, Mondo Okpebholo comes out to make bogus and outlandish statement that cannot be substantiated. What's the proof? What contractor did Mondo Okpebholo give the work that's working on supply road? Mondo Okpebholo has not given anybody any bloody contract to do anything on supply road. What he does is to go and call David Umahi and beg him to run down. Every time supply road, it's not David Umahi has brought, so please help me. It is federal government that is doing it. But because Mondo Okpebholo has abandoned his duty as a governor, he's now acting as the SSC to the president on Edo mobilization. That's why he's always running to look at all the projects. When all the projects that when he does okay, but see, if this man can name 5 roads that Mondo Okpebholo has started in Edo South, in this 5, I'm not saying not completed though. 5. He will give us the name and location.
That's a small number.
I will, of course.
5.
Right here and here.
If he can say 5, I will decamp to APC.
Right here. No, we don't want you in APC.
Mondo Okpebholo has done nothing. Mondo Okpebholo has done next to nothing. He went to the Taboga Road. He said, everybody knows that Obaseki tried that road. He ran to Ekenwa Road. He's now petting Ekenwa Road. And he wants to take glory for what God Obaseki did. We see this man, there's no, do you know him? They have started a flood. Mondo Okpebholo, he came into governance and decided to work very hard. But his labor is a labor of destruction. He had come to destroy all what Governor Okpebholo has done. The man knows next to nothing when it comes to governance. He's a master at bringing other clueless people into government. All the commissioners, he now runs the most bloated governance that those I've ever seen, with 28 commissioners. The special advisors are more than 40. They share it like curry and cassava. SSAs are in thousands because the man wants to ensure that everybody is out there in the streets mobilizing votes for Tinubu. 3.5 million votes. Imagine a governor at that level, where people see you to be elected and exposed. You open your mouth to say you want to give Tinubu 3.5 million votes. He says that
2.5, please.
He said 3.5 in the last video. He has reasoned it to 3.5. And he says this is recklessly and sheepishly. Then you have a state chairman, Jared Tenebe, who comes to consolidate on all the recklessness. A man who said he will cut his neck to ensure that he gives 2.5 million votes. Look at the people in government too. He will cut his neck. He will cut his hand. That is not enough. He will cut his neck to deliver votes for Tinubu.
That was figurative.
He said he will cut his hand because he said figurative expression in that one. He said I will cut my hand. If the hand is not enough, I'll cut my neck. He came over to now say, oh, this party, we listen to the president. Nobody in this party, including Adasale Oshomole, say he's a man of no break, no sense, and no jar. Even all of them, the party, including Adasale Oshomole, all the leaders and chiefs, there's no brain, there's no jar, there's no sense. I feel someone wondered that. How can you have a car that moves without jar? The man, even the parable is wrong. The man does not think when he's crafting those parables. It's baseless and cheap. And when the Okpebholo comes on board and asks, have anybody watched football? Have anybody watched football here? The one man raises his hand, he gives him 5 million. See, all this cluelessness and crassness, we see it, the government will just laugh. Mondo Okpebholo has done next to nothing. The flower they're talking about, he borrowed 100 billion Chinese loan from the bank before the Supreme Court judgment came out. That's what it's used for. That thing is just a... Mondo Okpebholo came on board because he needed to make money for himself and his godfathers. And he has calculated the best way to make money is only 2 tactics. He's buying buses, buying cars, buying... Others has 8 bulldozers. Edo State is not open community. This is not Edo State forest state. We are not 8 bulldozer. What he has, he said he wants to use it to. Bulldozer cannot, listen to me, they cannot park there too, because bulldozer has chains, they don't have tires. It's not a payloader, it is not a tractor. 8 Chinese, because those bulldozers are bought with about 1 billion, 700 million. They will buy just to appropriate resources, to siphon resources. What are we doing with 8 bulldozers? Bulldozers that we cannot maintain, we cannot. To do what? To be scattering bush. Okpebholo has bought 20 tractors, farming tractors, and has shared those tractors to some criminals in APC who has never been to farm all their life. He bought over 300 Okada, saying he wants to fight insecurity. Later bought another 120 Okada. Are we stupid? Can we fight insecurity with Okada? And the Okada he has bought, have you seen any Okada today? Since he bought them about 3 months ago now, fight on the road, be prepared for insecurity.
Okay.
Mondo Okpebholo bought vehicles, over 50 of them, gifted them to security operatives. He came and disbanded the well-instituted and well-organized Edo security network. When Obasanjo was governor, the vigilantes were collaborating with the police to tackle security. Today, they are with the police standing in the junction, begging for arms like children of those Amajiri children. Mondo Okpebholo has not done anything meaningful in government. I will tell you, the OC, since when Obasanjo did one in office, his name was already popping up in awards. People were coming to copy what
what was his achievement?
Today, it's only Governor Munike that is coming to Edo State to copy what Mondo Okpebholo is doing. When Governor Munike is collecting Mondo Okpebholo's ideas and using it to excel and prosper on social media, Mondo Okpebholo's name has never been listed in any form of say award or celebration, whether nationally or internationally, because the man has no response at all to governance. All his politics are heading straight into the rocks. And I bet you, all of these things he does, all this fight against Governor Obasanjo's projects and legacies, all is a clear sign that the man had put all of our interests below political pettiness. He has said to himself, all he needs to do to remain for another 8 years is to deliver Tinubu for presidency.
Edo State is for everybody. It's for all of us, and we must make sure that it stands brightly as the pride that we have. But let's come to you. Let's get your thoughts. What do you see going forward that the governor should do in order to put Edo State in the right pedestal of pride?
I don't see this governor going forward or going to any direction. To my mind, the governor is directionless.
No, you can't say.
Listen,
I mean,
let me tell you.
I asked you a pertinent question.
Yes.
I said,
you say,
what should he do?
What should he do?
So picture in your mind a governor that is
Then create
to
a
do
solution.
something that will be progressive. So what would you want such a governor to do?
I can't waste my time to think that the governor will be progressive when the governor indeed cannot be progressive. I can't waste my time. I can't just fall into pettiness, fall into frivolities, fall into utopian state, all because I want to give an appraiser.
Picture in your mind. No, we must tackle this. Picture in your mind.
I want to picture
a governor that you see as progressive. What should do?
What Okpebholo should do is to resign.
Yes.
That's the best thing.
A governor that is progressive should first of all address the people of Edo State by himself, for himself, with himself, to tell the people of Edo State what he has drafted in his dossier.
You say your own. He said you should recommend
a governor.
Since he does not have direction, he said, please give a direction. Let's assume he's not.
Are you the anchor?
Oh, sorry, my leader.
With all the direction they give to him, he can't follow direction. That's
you have the floor.
A governor should have a dossier drafted wherein he has his program, his mission, his vision, and tell the people of Edo State that this is what I have for this epoch, this period of time. And by the time I get to this epoch and I'm not able to deliver, you should hold me for
what
it.
Do you see?
What
do you see as a major breakthrough that Edo State needs that the governor should also key into?
Edo State needs a major breakthrough. First, you must have a leader that has the capacity to think, to reason, and to work. But just now we don't have that. And let me tell you something. If you look at the Constitution in chapter 2 of the Constitution, there is a responsibility for government. I don't know whether this crop of leaders we have, the governor inclusive, make attempt to glance through the provisions of the Constitution. And that is why you see we are neither here nor there. And all thank God, if not for Donald Trump's tweet that we just had, by now everywhere the sky would have been APC 2027 re-election carnival. Because that is what they want. The only carnival they want to celebrate, because they think that the only thing that they needed just now is just to get 2027, so that Nigerians can continue to be in the land of Egypt, whereas God Almighty himself has declared that we should go to promised land. Look, when you see a governor that really wants to work for the people, you will know. But just now, like I did say in the outset of this program, that this governor that we have is only following the footsteps or the dictates of the three musketeers. Okay. And that is why I don't think Edo State will move forward. But you know one thing, good enough, Edo electorates are enlightening the electorate. We are waiting for him. We are going to show him the red card.
Thank you. Well, as we wrap up, yes. But don't forget, he also brought some development in that direction, where he said, now, you should take it easy, please. Okay. Where he said you should list some projects. I will. He gave you just 5.
I will.
And again, I want to also make you know, despite the fact that the governor is embarking on a very huge project at Drummond Park, the flyover, have you seen the congestion in traffic that work is bringing? And again, a lot of residents, a lot of motorists have said that they should work on the different routes so that that will reduce the congestion on that road. Don't you see developments that should come in that the governor should take you into and make Edo State better for it?
Wonderful. Maybe I should come from this your last segment. The governor is very proactive, and he sees the pain of the people even before some of them see, because he is from the same ordinary person, assume that all of us are, or majority of us are. He did come from the bourgeois family.
So the governor, he's a commoner.
Yes, of course, commoner like us. All 2 times the governor visited this project site, you hear him say, excepting for those who, because they don't like his face, they don't intend to hear what he's saying. He will always appeal to contractors to do all they can to make sure the motorists are not going through hard time. But you can also take it away.
Be an appeal?
I'm coming.
You can't say that.
Of course. Now let me tell you.
A governor does not appeal to contractors.
No, you cannot.
I'm looking at.
Why don't you just give me a question?
I'm giving you a direction. I'm looking at what the governor has done in terms of developing other roads, linking roads, so that while that congestion is there, palliatively, motorists can use other channels.
Of course, that
seems not to be coming.
Now let me also tell you, even if you want to talk an alternative roads, there are vehicles that can never use alternative roads. Those alternative roads, for the fact that it's not fully tied, some are just maybe graded for period of time, as it were. This government, if he wants to construct a road or embark on a project, is an holistic one, not wait and see kind of roads. Okay. That tomorrow you come, both the quota and tire packed, washed away. No. Now they are doing major roads. Some of those vehicles plying those routes may not have to ply an avenue. They have to go straight, because if they ply an avenue, where are they coming out to? And also depend on the kind of vehicle. Let's put that aside. Okay. He has always told contractor, do all you can to reduce the pains of my people.
So list 5 projects.
Now, for example, in Temboga Road, and I am coming now. You can take the camera to Temboga and ask the people. When the governor was campaigning, he went to Temboga and Ute houses, and he did assure them that if he wins, he was coming. That was going to be his first project.
He worked on that.
And immediately came, that was his project.
Okay.
And not just only Temboga Road, all the road houses around there. Then you now go to Obe one.
You mean the linking roads?
Of course. You now go to Obe one.
On the link roads?
Of course.
Temboga has been tied.
Villages, I am coming now.
One street inside Temboga.
What I say?
One road inside Aliso.
It's not one.
Temboga. Don't call it Temboga.
He has not said
he has mentioned one.
He has not said this one. I've mentioned 2. Now
which is the second one?
I said Temboga, Ute.
There's no Temboga. That Temboga road is Obaseki's road.
Why you claim Obaseki never did? Okay.
No, the governor worked on it.
No, listen. That road where you had that Shomole house. Is it not that what we call Temboga? Is that not tied? Is it tied with Goleko? Let me be clear.
But the governor worked on it again.
You work on what has been worked on? What's the kind of special you're talking about?
Obaseki.
He works on what has been worked on.
When the people then revolted that they were not going to vote for his party, about 2 weeks to go, he ran there with Caterpillar. And he wanted to do the job. But unfortunately, the contractor heard that this government, if he doesn't
listen to what he said. Listen to what he said. He said that the governor worked on what has been worked upon.
that means there's a failure in what they did.
So what exactly what exactly did the governor do on that road?
Okay, the governor started from the base to the level it is.
He expanded the road.
Okay, up to the drainages that were fixed on that road, everything was done by the Edo State government under Okpebholo's administration. They couldn't do anything. Now you now go to Obey 1. Ask people in Obey 1 and ask them how beautiful Obey is becoming. Okay. With drainages. With drainages. Then you go to Ogogobi.
Okay. What is the governor doing to Edo HIS?
Sorry?
Edo HIS.
Oh, Edo HIS, let me tell you, what Obaseki did there was to completely grab all the lands we have in Edo. To his friends. They are
insurance. I didn't say Edo HIS. I'm talking about the health insurance sector.
Okay, health insurance.
The scheme, yeah.
No, now, that's eco passes. The Edo Gist, Edo GIS, all of them that were just done in this name, that he brought those small boys with briefcase from Port Harcourt and Lagos to come and manage. Right. What they did to Edo, you can't imagine it. Okay. That one person will have how many hectares of land with a penny, and Edo State government will give them C of O. Okay, you can't just push this government into anything you see.
Okay, you have 1 minute to round off. 1 minute to round off.
I'm telling him to come and start standing. Now my brother have not seen anything good in the transport system of that he got Edo line that they said can never exist after Okpebholo left office. Okpebholo left Edo line is safe hand for them. At the time they finished Edo line. And they said, I am coming now.
Doesn't know. He has forgotten so quickly.
I am coming.
Let him land. He has just 20 seconds left.
Now, at the time they said they didn't pay workers, they were B, they were this, I don't like that, and they sold both the engine and the tires. Now, this governor came. You now have new Edo line.
All right.
In the high level, you can. Okay, if you are going to Abuja today, you can imagine somebody going to Kaduna.
Thank you. You've said a lot.
With less than 25,000.
Thank you. Hold. You have 20 seconds to round off. 20 seconds to round off on your point.
Yes, in talking about the 365 days of failure, like Governor Okpebholo, you could see that he has nothing to show aside from the flyover, which he borrowed 100 billion to do. And today, Okpebholo cannot come out to say this is how much the project is worth. He started another one in Saple Road, where there's practically no need for flyover, because he wants to siphon under humongous resources, looking for big white elephant projects that we used to gulp money from government and run away without a trace. He started that one. Today, he still cannot tell us how much that one is worth. I asked my brother here to name 5 roads, just 5.
And I had named 7.
And he's enabled it to.
And you stopped me.
And he could not name.
I have named 7.
And he was rambling from both sides of his
tax relief for 4 months.
All they keep doing,
tax relief. Nobody's paying tax for 4 months.
Thank you. Round off on
market women, bus driver for 4 months, tax relief. Nobody's paying tax.
The floor is yours.
The governor, if the governor means well for himself and for the people of Edo State, I think it's high time he started to do away with the musketeers who are always dictating what he should do and the direction he should go. He should focus on development. He should focus on ensuring that welfare and security of the people's state is guaranteed as it is in the Constitution.
Thank you so much, Emmanuel Okpebholo. Big thanks for coming through. Shedra Kudubai, I appreciate you.
Thank you very much.
It's all about making sure that legacies of governance, are continued. That's why they say government is a continuum. And of course, this is bringing it to a point where a lot has been said concerning e-governance, and for that legacy to continue in Senator Monday Okpebholo's administration as the governor of Edo State. We hope to see more of these pull through, and of course, infrastructural development. This is all we can say from the Benin Network Center.